Hello.
Hey Kimberly, how are you doing today?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Matthew?
I'm doing great. So, were you able to speak with the homeowner?
I was. He wasn't able to talk with us. He told me just to handle it,
Alright,
and that when he gets a moment later or when he gets home, he'll call me for the details.
alright. Sounds
So
good.
it'll just be, I guess, the three of us.
My partner had a meeting pop up, so he won't be able to join either.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. So, he, I did a little more, digging, I guess you could say, and I
Mm-hmm.
found that the owner, also has a line of credit on
He
the
does. He
property.
plans to pay, yeah. He plans to have the title people or the closer take that out of the proceeds. So, in other
Mm,
words, you'll be left with the first mortgage. He's going to pay off the second note,
mm.
the line of credit,
So
unless you don't want him to.
that's why he's
Yeah.
asking for so much.
Yes, he has to pay that off.
Mm.
Unless you want to take over both. I mean, can't
What
imagine what.
is what do you know what the payment is on that line of credit?
No, I do not.
Mm.
I can find out and we can talk again. But because it was a line of credit, like when I did the listing and I did the seller's net, he didn't even disclose that to me. In fact, I only just learned out about it a couple of weeks ago. And because he had an offer and he was going over how much he'd walk away, and I'm like, no, no, no. And he goes, no. He goes, I did a HELOC loan,
Mm.
and I bought a boat and I bought a car. And
Mm.
I'm like, oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
you needed to tell me that.
S-
Anyway, so
So
that is why
he already like tapped into that equity.
he did. Well, no, there's still a lot of equity. He paid, hold on, and I can tell you exactly what he paid for the house.
All right.
All right, hold on. Okay, when he bought the home, he paid for the
Mm.
home, and he purchased it in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
I sold him the home. I worked for Adams Homes Construction. You know Adams Homes, the builder, and it
No.
was a spec home, and I sold it to him. And then now he's selling it at $495, which Adams Homes is selling theirs for 5 and 8, a 513.9 with no upgrades, just the base home.
Mm.
So you wouldn't have that fancy elevation. It would just, I could show you a picture of what it would look like. That elevation is 8. He upgraded the cabinetry. He did upgraded wood pattern vinyl. Did he do anything else? No, not with Adams. But then he put gutters on, and he did a fence, and he did that tough shed. He did reverse osmosis. He did a split zone in the garage. Oh, the home, I did put French doors creating a den. So it was a 4-bedroom with a den and 3 bathrooms, 2-car garage. What else did he do? But it has fruit trees. Um, I don't know. You'd have to read the write-up. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Let me look real quick and see. But when I totaled it all up, it totaled $61,000. Well, you're getting everything for $495. So if you did the math, base 513.9 and then add 61,000. I mean, the home is not an old home, and it's in immaculate shape and condition.
Mm.
Um, oh, I did do the upgraded wood pattern, or I'm sorry, the upgraded wood cabinetry with the pulls and the crown molding. It has that. And let's see, that home came with this separate tub and shower. Okay, but what he plans to do is, if I mean, I honestly don't know why you don't just do the 4% FHA. You know what I mean? You just have to qualify. But that is a wonderful way to buy this house. 4%.
Taking over his loan?
Well, no, you wouldn't. It would be your own loan. Do you see what I mean?
But
In other words, you would pay him for what he wanted, and then for his loan, you would just pay the difference in cash. So you would have that amount at 4% if you wanted to finance altogether and just be done with it. I don't know that. You wouldn't be able to do 495 at 4%. I think that way what that works out to be is the balance of his loan you would get at 4%. Isn't that correct? I mean, I've heard of this, but I've never done one myself. So I don't know. But you could call the lender. I can give you that information and you can talk to them. But 4%, I don't know. I know you're not going to be able to get the full 495 for 4%, but you could take over his mortgage.
Yeah.
That he owes at 4%. And then maybe hold a second note. I don't know.
Well, so my only problem is just the comps I'm seeing. I don't know if you're seeing other comps, but the ones I'm seeing, they're like, they're near that number, but they're not quite there.
Well, if you're looking at Zillow, Zillow's never right. And he complained about that. I said, there's nothing I can do about that. Because Zillow is their own entity. You know what I mean? They're not going to listen to what I have to say. But yeah, we have comps that support that.
Would you be able to send me those?
Especially being that home brand new is 515, 900, I believe. Without upgrades. Do you see what I mean? Without upgrades.
Yeah.
And he's got 61,000 worth of upgrades. So, I mean, it's all fenced in. He's always screening the rear porch. Did I see that? He added gutters. I mean, he's done a lot to the home. What the home lacks is tile and granite. If it had that, it would look exquisite. But it doesn't. But he's done everything else because those weren't that important to them. What was important was a shed for him. He works on motorcycles. He works on boats. He actually flies like planes, not like a plane you sit in, but like a huge, like a 4-foot wide plane. Anyway, and he tinkers on stuff. So he works in the garage, and that's why he has that. I think it's a $3,000 unit that he has out there in the garage.
Yeah.
But it's a beautiful home, nice neighborhood, conveniently located to everything. So I don't think you're going to have a problem with comps. In fact, there's ugly houses that aren't as big that are going for a lot more. So
could you send me those?
I can send you everything available within that vicinity. A lot of the things that were there, like within a month ago, sold. But yeah, I'll send you so you can see.
Yeah.
See, he's very, very close to Sandpiper, Club Med, Ballantrae. He's just on the other side of the street. So it's not that neighborhood, but it's within a mile.
So let's say we took over both his 4% FHA and the line of credit.
Yeah, he told me he owed like 60,000, I think is what he told me, on the line of credit. What are you seeing?
My side says 64,500 is the total loan amount. So I don't know what it's at now, but
okay, I see what you mean. He thought he owed like 60,000. But
maybe.
he didn't give me an exact number, but I can get him to give that to me. So what you're thinking is you would take over both of those?
Yeah. Does that include the PITI? Is that both loans?
No. You wouldn't have that on a home equity line of credit. You're only going to have that on the first mortgage.
What do you mean? Taking over the loan?
Yeah. Well, okay. He's got two different loans that he pays, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's got his primary residence, which is his first mortgage,
Yes.
and then he's got a home equity line of credit, which is like a second mortgage.
Yes.
They're not combined. They're not commingled. They're two different loans.
But they're
All
both
right.
connected to the home, correct?
They are. Yep. So the first home has principal, interest, taxes, insurance. I'm sure it does have PMI. The second one would only have, maybe it's interest only. I don't know. But it wouldn't be taxes and insurance and all of that. It wouldn't be that.
Yes, but I'm trying to figure out what the total monthly payment would be, including
Okay.
both loans and interest, taxes, and insurance.
Interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay, so the interest, taxes, and insurance are all included in his first mortgage amount, and that was the number I gave you. So you're squared
The
away.
2579.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then
Yeah.
do
So you know how
you?
they do adjustments every year in February? So
Yeah.
March, you have your first payment. That bill that I gave you, well, we're in May. It may have gone up.
Yeah.
I will get a current mortgage statement from him,
Uh,
and I'll also get a statement from his home equity line of credit, and then
yeah.
we'll know more. But I think he never really considered that as a mortgage, a total mortgage, but it
Yeah.
is really, isn't it? And so I told him, I asked if you had a second mortgage. He said, I don't. I said, no, you do.
Yeah.
If you have a home equity line of credit, that's a second mortgage. He
Mm,
said, oh, well, I didn't know. And so he said, I knew I owed it and I was just going to pay it from the proceeds.
yeah. Because we
So,
would be more interested in if we could take over both loans, that would give us a smaller down payment. You see what I'm saying?
mm-hmm,
So that would be more easy for us. The only
mm-hmm.
thing is if the whole payment for the first loan is already 2,500, I don't know how much spread there would be if you add in the second loan to rent and then what that spread would be with both loans and the rent, you know?
Yeah, if it'd be worth it.
Yeah. That's my biggest
Yeah,
concern.
but what about this? When you thought it was just the one mortgage, you were going to cash him out. So what's the difference if you cash him out and he pays it off before he walks away, from the table, and you only
Mm,
have the 2,200 mortgage because you were planning on cashing him out anyway.
well,
So
yes,
why
but
not take
if
why
we
take it
could
on?
if we could pay less up front, that would be more ideal for us, but just so we'd have more cash on hand to go do more deals. You know what
More
I'm saying?
deals. Yeah, sure, I get it. Well, I do not have that answer for you, and
All
I
right.
don't want to call him at work. I've had to call him a few times, and his boss doesn't like it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And he's
got
not
you.
real happy with him right now, I think, anyway, because his boss's wife or daughter is a realtor, and he didn't go with them.
Some
He went with me.
politics are going on.
Yeah, so he said he believes he cut his hours.
Oh,
You know what I mean, on purpose.
yeah.
Anyway, I feel bad, but
Mm-hmm.
I really thought the home had been long gone, and
Yeah.
it just blows me away that it's not. But I think people are waiting to see what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think so too. Do you, by chance, if you don't know the payment, do you know the interest on that second loan?
No, not at all. He never shared any document with me at all. Like I
Yeah.
said, I only learned about it most recently, like within a month, if that. Probably more like 3 weeks. I
Mm,
never knew, because I asked our title agency
mm-hmm.
that works with us. I asked them to provide a seller's net when I did the listing.
Mm,
And so when I interviewed him, I asked him, "Do you have a second mortgage?" He said no.
mm,
And he just doesn't understand it.
yeah.
But I would always ask, no home equity line of credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, nothing like that. He didn't haunt the house, Anyway, but he didn't know what I meant, and and I believe him. I do, but it would have been nicer, you know what I mean, for pricing it and stuff. Because we tried to lower it to sell it, and then we realized we couldn't. You see what I mean? We couldn't lower it because he needed the money to, start over.
Yeah.
He's not looking to buy, but hell, when you're trying to rent, everybody wants first, last, security, sometimes second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, and then he wanted to buy a special truck for a job that is waiting for him in Tennessee. But the only thing I can share with you is I don't have that information, but I will get that information. Do you want me to call you tonight or tomorrow? Actually, he probably has to call his bank and get like a payoff amount, right? That's what you're really looking for?
What do you mean, a payoff amount?
Like, in other words, the amount needed to close the loan. You want that figure. You need to know how much does he owe today on the first and the second, and what the payment is on the second. Because we know, and the first. Because I think that statement that I had, now that I think about it, may have come from maybe February or March. And, everybody's taxes went up because the property values went up 17% this year, this past year.
It's insane.
So, and that happens March 1, right? Because mine even went up.
So, I mean, the more information, the better. Just so we could see all the numbers.
What you need, exactly. You need the payoff amount for the first mortgage, and you need to know the interest rate
on both, I guess.
And the payment on both. Well, the first one is 4%.
All right. And then what the total monthly payment is for both loans, interest, taxes, and insurance.
Okay. So what is it that you're hoping to do here? You're hoping to pull both notes, give him the balance, correct?
Yeah.
When you close.
Yeah.
There's no realtor involved. Do you want him to pay the real estate commission, or are you willing to pay it?
Ideally, ideally him, but I mean, we're open to negotiating, so.
Okay. Well, commission 6%, and he's got a $3,000 bonus on there. But I don't think he would, be against paying it or paying half of it or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't think he would. And I don't think he would care that you hold the mortgages as long as you maintain them. Don't cause him bad credit.
Yeah.
And then he would probably want, not the balance of, let's say, well, it's a 30-year loan on the first one, right? And he's been in there, he closed in 2019. So let's just say 5 years, 25 years left on a mortgage. He wouldn't want you to hold the note that long because, that's just too much to keep up with.
He would want a balloon?
Well, maybe. I mean, when do you feel like comfortably you could get it out of his name?
I mean, I'm not sure about that. I would have to look at, all the numbers, but we don't really have them.
Let's just start with get you the numbers because you need that to figure out what you can do.
Yeah.
And then take a look at that. I'll get that to you. I don't know if it'll be tonight or tomorrow, but I will get it to you.
All right.
And then you'll have the information you need. If you can put an offer in writing, I would really appreciate that because I've had someone I talked to earlier on, and I thought we had hashed everything out, and then we got their offer to purchase, and it was totally different than what we agreed on. He would want a title agency to do the closing, if at all possible, or an attorney.
Yeah, we would go through a title company.
Okay, good. All right, and then and I think that would be it. But let me get what you need in order for you to figure out if you're even willing to, make an offer on that.
Yeah, because I don't want to like send an offer and offend anyone or waste people's time. I just
Yeah, we
want
don't
to.
want that either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
But you understand what he's trying to do. He's just trying to unload. He just would love to. He doesn't care if somebody keeps the note. I mean, it'd be great if he found somebody who was willing to just take it over and, get their own loan and all of that.
Yeah.
That would be ideal. But, right now it's slow.
Yeah.
And he wants to go.
Yeah.
So this is why he's considering it. But, he realized there's a risk.
Yeah.
He realizes that.
I mean, we pay, like, we have what would you call it? Like emergency funds, I guess you could say. Like in case tenants don't pay or anything. So that there's really not too much risk, unless.
I just don't know how the banks don't know about it. I honestly
don't know about what.
Well, if he's going to keep the loan in his name, right?
Yeah.
But he's going to sign over the deed to you, so there's going to be a transfer title.
Yeah.
How does the bank not find out?
The bank? Well, that's a really great question, to be honest.
I mean, aren't they going to be notified? I would think so, because there's a lien, and the lien would have to be paid.
There's a lien on the home?
Well, I mean, of course. The bank would have a lien on that home for the monies that they loaned for the purchase of the home, wouldn't they? I would think so.
Oh, you're talking about like they would put a lien on the home.
Well, it's not like a lien like someone didn't pay. It's more like, they are in first position in case there's like a bankruptcy or something like that. It's going to have the home equity paid at the table.
Yeah.
But you would like to keep the note, both of them, because it's less cash, gives you more cash flow to purchase other properties.
Yeah.
I got it. And I don't think he'll have a problem with it. I really don't. He just knew he owed it and wanted to make sure it got paid.
Yeah.
So let me find out what you need. Let me call you back. Now, it may not be today, but I promise you I'll get that and I will call you back. But I have to get that from him, and I can't call him right now. But I'll talk to him tonight, and I'll tell him to get that to me. He probably already has a statement somewhere,
All right. That's perfect.
All right. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So my camera overheated mid-conversation. But some more information was found, and we need to do some more research, run the numbers, and see what we can do.